So good morning, students. Good morning, Rohita. Good morning, everyone. So first thing first, is my voice audible?
Audible, sir.
Good. Thank you. Let me see who are the persons who joined us. Chanakya, Kodari, Geeta, Rohita. Chanakya, didn't you apply for CUET, Common Universities Entrance Test, MPS, for Masters of Political Science?
No, sir.
You must have applied, right? It would have been a far better thing, so that your post-graduation degree will be completed. You'll be preparing for this masters, and then by being in the university, you should have prepared for this exam. Why didn't you apply? Hmm?
Sir, I have applied for the Delhi University, sir, but not CUET.
No, see, Delhi University, that's completely fine. But you should have applied even for this also, because even Hyderabad Central University is also good. Any university will be good. They will not be like your colleges, but they will be very good because you will have the ample amount of time to prepare. Not only ample amount of time to prepare, but also you'll be having a in detail analysis of the subject, and then you'll have a good group. So what I felt last night when I was thinking about you people is, particularly you college students, is I thought that it is far better for you people who are preparing for UPSC to apply for PG, join PG in an university, and then do parallel coaching. Because today the coaching is non-conventional or unconventional. It is not like you have to be going to the brick and mortar institutions. Rather, you can prepare it online also. The only thing is some mentoring. We are there anyway to mentor, right? So rather than being in Ashok Nagar or rather than being outside in market, what I feel is you might have thought about it. You must have thought about it. So please focus on that. The exam date for application is on this Sunday, right? So what I feel is that is a better thing. If I have come to the college, I would have said it. But before I come to the college, the date is getting over, right? So do one thing,
Okay, sir.
Chanikya, try to apply for it. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so you are eligible for applying that, so that you apply for it, and it is going to be helpful. Hmm? Definitely apply it.
Okay,
It
sir.
is far better to
Okay,
be in
sir.
Ashok Nagar than to be in, or it is far better to be in universities rather than preparing from Hyderabad Ashok Nagar market. No, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes. Please apply for it, and also inform your college friends, because many of them doesn't know how to go ahead. Many people are thinking what you will get from masters, what you will get from masters. This is Tamil Nadu State History book in political science, first year. See what you will get from this. They have given this. Career opportunities in political science. What is the career opportunities in higher education? What you have, right? And then employment opportunities in political science, they have given clearly, right? And then they have said political career. What are the various careers that is available under political science? They have clearly mentioned it. Okay, so what I say is it is always better to do higher education rather than staying ideally for 1 year or 2 years until you get this exam. My better suggestion is you apply for it, prepare for that exam seriously, because anyways I have seen the syllabus also for masters in political science. You have only this thing, right? For masters in CUET you have very simple syllabus, right? You go just go through it. You have to apply with a fees of 800 if you are a general category, right? And the last date they have extended into 10th July, hence that is also helpful. So scheme of examination, you have just only two things. There will be 100 questions, 75 questions from subject, 25 questions from the so-called uh, general studies and CSAT, you mean aptitude. So it is very easy to crack. Once you crack this, look at this. Under political science, these are the universities that we have: University of Andhra Pradesh, University of Gujarat, Central University, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Hyderabad, Jammu and Kashmir, Jharkhand, all are national universities, right? Even you have JN universities also. So better to prepare for that. So apply for that immediately, and also ask your friends to apply for it. share this material to your friends. Otherwise, they will be losing a great opportunity. You are coming out of college now, so this is post-graduation in universities, and they will have good opportunity to get into this. So the best thing is to prepare for it and crack it. What is the syllabus for this? CUET, I have already shared it in the group, right? This is the syllabus for political science. PGQP 42 is the code of examination. See, Western political philosophy, modern Indian political thought, political theory, international relations, Indian government and politics, comparative government and politics, public policies of India, government issues and contemporary societies. With the same syllabus, with the same code, you can apply for political science, even for public administration also. This is the same syllabus. Only one exam for political science and public administration. So if you have very simple syllabus, you can easily score and you can easily get if you are doing some dedicated preparation for this. So what I suggest you is think about that line, think about getting into this universities first, and then you can focus on ethics and every other thing. Last night, I was thinking about you people only when I got a call from your college, right? How to go ahead. This is a better opportunity, Chanikya. Don't leave it. Very simple syllabus, 75 marks here. Then there will be 25 marks in GS. Get into some university and prepare from the university environment. You will have ample amount of time to prepare. Meanwhile, you will be having career opportunities. Meanwhile, you will be having this thing also. So that would be a better option, right? This is what I wanted to do. I will do one thing. I'll share the material that I have shown to you. You please circulate it to the students of your batch, okay?
Okay, sir.
Neha has left it now, so I am not understanding to whom to share now. So I am sharing it to you. You please share it to all of
Yes.
you.
Okay, sir.
Ask maximum students to join to apply for this. I'll tell you what is the advantage that these people are going to come have, because on Monday I'll be coming there, but by Sunday that application date is going to get over, right?
Yes, sir. I'll share it in group, sir. I'll share it.
That is the thing. Let me speak about this. So, right, guys, let me come back to the regular aspirants. So, this is Tamil Nadu State History book, sorry, State Political Science book, class 11th, higher intermediary, higher secondary first year, volume 1. Right. Look at the syllabus that they have given in this. Very good book. It was written very simply, very easy way to understand than your National Institute of Open Sciences books, NIOS. NIOS means Indira Gandhi Open University books. Now, IGNO books can be secondary material. Even in the primary material, this book is the simplest way. Then you can read NCRT books, NCRT material. Then you can read IGNO book. IGNO, this is how. This is intermediate level book. You have intermediate level book of NCRT. You have degree book of the so-called IGNO. Look at this. Introduction to Political Science is the first chapter. Second chapter is State, Basic Concepts of Political Science, Basic Concepts of Political Science, Democracy, Forms of Government, Political Thought. This is how they have been. So more or less, the first syllabus, section A of your IG paper 1 is in this, right? In this, how to prepare, look at this first one. Meaning, definitions, origin and phase, nature of political science, scope of political science. Is political science a science or not? Approaches to the study of political science. Right? They have covered almost everything in the syllabus of first unit. What is politics? They answered. You just go through it. With good examples they have given. It takes less than 1 hour of time to read. Right? Then look at it. What is political science? They have given. And then they have given definition of political science, and most importantly, scope of political science. Most importantly, they have given this one, approaches to the political science. This is what I was speaking yesterday. When you study about approaches to political science, there are two approaches. One is traditional approach, one is modern approach. Traditional means sampradayanga, which will be coming from age old, right from the starting. Modern means ఆధునిక. ఈ సాంప్రదాయంగా వచ్చేటువంటి అప్రోచెస్ ఆధునికంగా వచ్చినటువంటి అప్రోచెస్. What are those things that are coming traditionally? Traditionally is, I said, initially political science was made a part and parcel of the so-called philosophy or ethics. That is why the first approach will be philosophical approach. The second approach is, I said, it was made a part and parcel of after philosophical approach. People started studying that as a part of so-called history, and then there was two more things called legal approach and institutional approach. Over a period of time, they have developed. In the new approach, sociological approach, psychological approach, economic approach, behavioral approach, all these approaches are not that important for our exam, but behavioral approach is more important. And these approaches, sociological approach, psychological approach, these are critical schools, right? Marxist approach is a critical school as a modern school, right? Modernism. Under modernism, you study these concepts. Behavioral approach is the scientific approach again. In the modernism, sociological approach, psychological approach, economic approach, behavioral approach. Behavioral approach is more a general theory. Then in that, the critical theories of modern approach are sociology, psychology, economic, Marxist. Now, why this is beautiful? In what sense it is beautiful? It is beautiful because I said whenever you are writing political science answers, you have to use the so-called exponents or thinkers. Look at this. Whenever you are speaking about philosophical approach, you have to remember the names of these persons: Plato, Aristotle, Leo Strauss. You can also add this person called John Rawls. John Rawls is one person who has given the so-called philosophical approach. Then Clemens, right? Clemens is one person. Then there is one more person called Danio Gramino. Danio Gramino. So, Plato, Aristotle, Leo Strauss, Clemens, John Rawls. Sir, is recording on? Yes, I have on the recording. Yeah, I have on. Thank you. So, you remember the names. Keep a book. Please write this philosophical approach: Plato, Aristotle, Leo Strauss, John Rawls, Clemens, Danny Gramino. Danny Gramino or Germino. Germino. Germino is the actual spelling. So, they are philosophical approaches, right? Next one is historical approach. You have Machiavelli, Sabine. Next one, legal approach: Cicero, John Beeden, John Austin. Institutional approach: Harold Lasky, Arthur Bentley, James Bryce. Now, why I am saying this is you have to remember the thinkers. These are the names that you have to by heart, right? I'll be sharing it in the group. You just take that every day. You practice philosophical approach. You write under that Plato, Aristotle, John Rawls, Leo Strauss, Clemens, Daniel Gramino. Next, Machiavelli, Sabine, Duncan. There will be few people in historical approach. Similarly, legal approach, institutional approach. You have to prepare the names. That is must. Now, in this book, they have said what is an approach, because this is what the question is. UPSC is asking question only here. Then they said traditional approach. What is traditional approaches? Philosophical approach meaning, historical approach, legal approach meaning, psychological approach meaning. They have said the meaning just to understand this. But in exam, what they ask about philosophical approach. If they want to ask about philosophical approach, they ask what is philosophical approach. I said philosophical approach is also known as normative approach. So just by writing what is philosophical approach, this much marks you are not going to get. As this is basic book, 11th class book, that is why they have given in a very limited form. But optional is something greater than your degree level, less than PG level. That is honors degree level. As a result, you should know what are the criticisms of it. Criticisms will come from other approaches. So philosophical, historical, just for understanding, just go through the book. What is this? You'll understand in a very systematic manner. Right. Next one is what they have given. They have given some concepts. These concepts are also good. Right. So by just reading these things, you are going to get what exactly is the topic, first topic. So one good best reference material is Telangana's book. This I have already shared it. We just go through unit 1 of that as far as this topic is considered. I hope this is clear. So one thing is, those who are in undergraduation level, I asked you to prepare for CUET, apply for it and do it. The second one is those who are coming to this batch, you study this unit 1 of this book. This is most important. After this, you can read the so-called IGNO book that I have shared. You can also read NCERT, one reference. There are three references that I have shared. With this, your work will be more easy. And look at the terms. Why? What is the thing that you get from the so-called standard books is the terms. The way in which you have to write, you will get it over a period of time by reading the basic book. Let me go back to my discussion. So we discussed about all these things in our yesterday's class. Politics, I said, politics is a master science, architectonic in nature, said by Barker. Right? Aristotle is known as father of political science. How political science developed as it is. In the initial days, traditionally it has been a subdiscipline of ethics or philosophy, and he said that because thinkers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, they are of the opinion that politics is nothing but ethics, or ethics is nothing but a good conduct in politics. Right. So he said that ethics and politics cannot be separated. As a result, if you want to enjoy good life, then political life is important. That political life has to be good. In order to make that good political life, you want good ethics. So they considered it as a stage or a branch of physics. In the medieval times, it has been a combination of religion where we have made it as holistic, but for the first time, this has been taken out by Machiavelli and he has developed the discipline as autonomy. Why he has developed autonomy? He has said that political science should not be based on your morals, based on ethics, it should not be based on religion, rather, it should be based on one concept, and that concept is the so called empirical relations, that is based on the facts. You come and check it whether it is going to work or not. So he has said, from where do you get facts? From historical approach. That is the reason under historical approach Machiavelli's name is there. Right, just now I have shown that, if you do remember. Right. So slowly over a period of time the discipline became a separate in its own, and it has become a core subject. And in that core subject the core principle has been the state, because state has been controlling the vital factors. And over a period of time it is said that political science is nothing but understanding the state. Political science starts with the science, with the state, and ends with the state. In the state 4, the politics has moved from Europe to USA. As a result, political science has been carried by American political scientists association. Now, political science became a pure science. They tried to incorporate pure science elements into this. What do we mean by pure science? They wanted to incorporate the so-called the laws of pure science into this, and to create exact meaning of what political science is, how they are going to work. They have come up with this. So behavioralism has come, and the most proponent of this behavioralism is David Easton. Right. Then in 1960s, again, David Easton is the person who has corrected his behavioralism, and he has come out with post-behavioralism. And he said that he is the only person who said that we have to correct our the so-called behavioral approach, and you have to make political science as a sub of the so-called post-behavioral approach. Now, political science, why he has made it as political science will compromise its subject matter if you are just restricting it to behavioralism or scientificism. Don't go by facts. If you are going by facts, it is going to compromise the subject matter, but it is an applied science rather than pure science. So apply it with human relations. And slowly, in the contemporary science, again Europe has come, and there are two schools like postmodernism, critical schools. These schools are known as the sociological schools, psychological schools, ecological schools. They have started coming and playing a critical role. And critical school mainly includes your feminist school, right? And then third world school is also a type of critical school, just like the feminist school, who are very vulnerable, who have been kept outside the political subject domain. They started speaking about this. As a result, they becomes the so-called critical schools. I said political science today is a vibrant discipline, expanding frontiers not only on the state but also on study of the family. Personal is political. That you can use this as conclusion. You have to use in these questions this as a conclusion. This frames as a conclusion. Now the debate is whether political science is normative or whether it is behavior. That is the nature. Now, many scientists started saying that the nature of political science is philosophical. They said that it is ethical or philosophical. What do you mean by ethical or philosophical? I said this. They gave political science as a subdiscipline of philosophy. Studying political science as a subdiscipline of philosophy, where you will be studying about the norms, is called normative approach. But if it is science, they study behavior. Now the question is, the debate between the thinkers is whether political science is exactly a normative science or a behavioral science. In order to understand that, the people started many branches, or that is the conflict which started between the normative thinkers and behavioral thinkers. So over a period of time, they started saying that you have some inherent drawbacks, as a result we are emerging. And again one person will come, no, you are also not completely right, I am emerging. So it is like critics is present in everywhere. Normative approach is being criticized, behavioralism has come. Again, behavioralism was criticized because of some loopholes. Post behavioralism has come. Again, post behavioralism has some loopholes. As a result, critical schools such as the feminist schools, the third world schools, they started coming out and playing a crucial role. And when, in order to understand the nature, exact nature, what exactly is political science, so these schools have formed. Because of these many schools, because of the contradictions that these many schools have, F.W. Maitland famously said that when I see the question paper with the title Political Science, I am more troubled with the title rather than the questions. Now, however, one thing that we have to acknowledge today is, today political science is acknowledged that, or it is very well acknowledged that, even scientific theories are paradigms. Whenever I use the term paradigm, what does this mean? Paradigms are models, they are frameworks. Paradigms are not absolute things, they are models. To explain a particular situation, they create one model, and that model is called paradigm. And they are not, these paradigms are not absolutely the facts. They are some prepositions or models. For example, when you go to a sweet shop, you'll ask, you look at a particular sweet and you'll ask, can I taste some part of the sweet? Why you ask that? To taste it, to see a model. Right? If you are going to the so-called any other place, look at when you are going to some dressing, shopping of textiles. I want to test this, right? Or you'll be looking at the model who is wearing it and then you'll be going it. So models are known as paradigms. In subject, you will call it as paradigms. Paradigms are some models which propose something and you have to test it whether it is going to work or not. So even today, it is understood that scientific theories are becoming paradigms. Unlike the olden days of Newton, where there were theories or there were laws, today scientific theories are more or less paradigms. Every law is also changing as per the time. For example, earlier there was heliocentric theory. Before that heliocentric theory, there was geocentric theory. Right? So geocentric theory has passed away and it has given rise to heliocentric theory. First, people used to believe that Earth is a stationary, all the planets used to revolve the Earth, around the Earth. But then they have come and said that Sun is stationary, all the planets are revolving around it. This is called heliocentric theory. Now, this is called paradigm. Who knows? Tomorrow they might say that both Earth and Sun are stationary and they are revolving around, both are revolving around some certain other orbit. Right? These are called paradigms. Since the emergence of postmodernism, it has been acknowledged that even theories are discourses. So, what this fellow said is, once again, correct, what so what these fellows started saying is, postmodernism started, I said, philosophy led to behavioralism, behavioralism led to post-behavioralism, post-behavioralism led to postmodernism. Behaviorism and post-behavioralism are modern concepts. Postmodernism is a criticism again on this. Behavioralism criticized philosophy, post-behavioralism criticized behaviorism, postmodernism is criticizing the modernism. So what is this modernism? So what they say, why they criticize this? They say, the postmodernists say it has been acknowledged, theories are acknowledged. They say that even science today is just theory or discourse. Science is yet to be proven beyond confidence or beyond any reasonable doubt. Hence, they say that whatever the theories that are proposed even today, just like the social sciences, even science is a theory or even science is a discourse. Discourse means just a normal discussion which is happening. That is not yet proven beyond any doubt, like Newton's laws. Hence, they say that when the subject of science itself is a theory, political science cannot be a pure science. I repeat, when the subject of pure science is itself a theory, social science cannot be social science cannot be a pure science. Rather, social science is also going to be a theory. So now, what postmodernists say is there is no difference between the so-called pure science, social science. Everything is a discourse. Everything is a paradigm. Everything is a theory. It has not reached to the levels of laws. That is what their criticism is. Again, I said, why they criticize? Because they will have their own view, they present it. So we have to write in the same way only. And they say that theories are just interpretations. You are just interpreting it, they are not final things. So even scientific theories are also interpretations. That is what these commentators say. Hence, in the contemporary political science, these days, you consider political science as interpretive discipline. What is this interpretive discipline? You don't consider this as a pure science. Rather than pure science, you consider this as a interpretative discipline, which means to interpret something which is happening, you'll discuss this or you'll consider this. So the subject have an analysis. The subject evolved as a subdiscipline of philosophy, then it has a mixture with the so-called religion, then it came out of the religion, had its own autonomy, but it was moving towards history, and then from history it evolved itself and it started going towards modernism because of Americans, right? It developed as a pure science, and then as it is not working, pure science has turned out, that is behavioralism has turned out to post-behavioralism. Even post-behavioralism is criticized by the modernists, that are called postmodernists. What is their claim? Postmodernists are saying, look at science itself. Pure science itself is losing relevance today. What about the so-called political science? So political science cannot be a pure science because pure science itself is not scientific, rather they are theories. Just like any theory, political science is also a theory, hence it is subject to interpretations. Hence we can say that political science is considered as a interpretive description or discipline. So over a period of time, your political science started here and it has come to this level. Now, what are the stages? Whatever we have studied are the stages in which it has carried on. Now, the thing is, how you can end this? You have to end this. However, whatever it is happening or whatever it is expanding, you have to write that today political science is a very vibrant discipline. That is what I said. Today political science is a very vibrant discipline which is expanding its frontiers. This is the ending for everything. Vibrant discipline, expanding frontiers, not only study of state but also study of family. Person is political, environmental, because it has extended beyond. This is what you have to write the answer for this question. So one thing is evolution story. How you have to write? You have to write introduction to what is political science and what is the history. You have to write about historical approach, that is called philosophical approach, religious approach. You have to give a framework of getting it, and then you have to end with this. In this, you write about philosophical approach, religion approach, historical approach, post-behavioral approach, post-modernist approach, critical schools. After writing this, you point out the so-called today's political science is very vibrant discipline, expanding frontiers. So you write these things. In the middle, you'll write something. This is called the debate. The debate is what exactly is political science? Is the debate? Because there is no answer for this debate because few people consider it is norms, it is few people consider that it is behavior, but nonetheless cannot be norms, it cannot be behavior, rather it is what is the so-called interpretive discipline. Right? It is just there to interpret the things. That's it. There is no theories, there is nothing. It is subjected to change. Now, what is the utility of political science as such? Why you have to study political science? This is to understand consciously what are the problems of man, what are the problems of his group, what is the problem of his life, and what is the problem of an organization. In order to understand a society in depth, in order to understand how the society is composed, you have to understand what exactly are the elements of this society, and you have to understand what are the problems that this fellow is facing, a man, his life, his group, and his organizations. By understanding that, they give some disciplined investigation to political problems. They will start telling problems. Say, for example, if scheduled tribes are feeling unsecure or insecure, then political science or political scientists will understand why they are unsecure as an individual, as a group. Then they will suggest the theories, and they will investigate the theories to overcome that problem, and then this is going to make them happy. This is the utility of political science. So what is political science? Political science explains the events and interpret the events which has happened, and thereby giving solutions. So the ultimate aim of any subject is to give solutions, right? Why we study every subject? Why we study science? We study science because we want to make human life bit enriching. Similarly, we study political sciences just to enrich human life. How? Because they interpret systematically what is the problem of humans and how they are going to overcome. Now the question will be on this also: nature and approaches. Approach is this traditional approach. These are the four things. Historical approach or postmodernist approach. These are the two things that you have. So what I discussed so far, let me quickly tell you. I discussed so far what is political science. In this, what is political theory, what is politics, and how politics is situated from power as it is relating to power. It speaks about state. Not only this, today it is expanding to democracy, equality, rights, right? Not only that, you will also study about justice component here. Story, political science has explained the evolution of political science. We have studied how it has evolved from Plato times to the modern day times, David Easton times. Post David Easton also there is postmodernism, which has said that you have to make this discipline independent, right? So this is how it has evolved. But what is the utility? Why to study all these things is we have to study just for one reason: to make human life possible and enriching. This is what we have studied. Now we will go in depth about each and everything. Why they considered it as a philosophical approach? What is the proponents in philosophical approach? Who have criticized that philosophical approach? And then why we went to historical approach? Who has criticized that historical approach? And then you will study the next approach. So this is called approaches. Traditional approaches. First you study philosophical, historical, empirical, legal, then behavioral and post behavior. This is the thing that we have to study. So first thing, let me start with philosophical approach. Philosophical approach is studying political science as a sub-discipline of philosophy. Philosophy is one discipline or one subject which is going to discuss about what is right. That is, it deals with ethics. Philosophy is nothing but studying ethics. In what situation, what is correct, what is wrong. That is called philosophy. Now, philosophy is about rights, right? So political science is made a sub-discipline of it, and this is studied, and studying of political science from this philosophical lens is known as philosophical approach. This is the definition. Studying of political science with philosophical lens is known as political science, and this was done by the early thinkers of Greece, stating from Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. And they considered that politics and philosophy cannot be separated. Rather, a good life, which is the major component of the so-called politics, is imbibed in a good political life. Good life means good political life. Good political life means good ethical life. So they have made it. So you can start with that introduction. You have to not forget the exponents of this approach. The exponents are Plato, Leostross, Clemens, Stato, Leostross, Clemens, Deni, Germino, Plato, Leostross, Deni, Germino, and then John Rawls. These are the thinkers who has proposed this theory. Now, after this, what are the features of this theory? Like guys, it is going to disconnect. I am going to connect it again. Okay. How? I'll share the link. Features of this are